Hi guys, Attila from the Third Card here. Just want to give you an piece of advice about when you've, usually this refers to DIYers who don't do this sort of work too often. So you want to repaint some rooms in your house or a couple of rooms or whatever, and you buy yourself a paint tray, brand new, and maybe a couple of paint pots and whatever. And then this specifically refers to ceilings, right? If you want to use a brand new paint tray for ceiling paint, then what's going to happen, more than likely, let's say you're finished for the day. You sort of pour the leftover ceiling paint from the tray back into your bucket or whatever, the paint pot, and the next day or 2 days later or whatever, you want to use the same paint tray for using maybe for the next coat of ceiling paint or for another kind of paint for walls or whatever. Then you might find that the dry ceiling paint that you left in there is going to start flaking, and it's going to sort of mix up with different little pieces of dry paint. It's going to mix up with the new paint that you pour into it, and that is because ceiling paint has very poor cohesion, so it doesn't really form a consistent, uniform, like paint film that you can sort of. Sometimes when you see peeling paint, you can sort of peel it off in big sheets like this, but you can't do that with ceiling paint because it flakes a lot. It doesn't have a good solid bond with itself, right? So it's not a very cohesive paint. And as a result, especially when you put ceiling paint onto a plastic paint tray like this, it won't adhere either. So because it doesn't have great adhesion either. So next time you want to use that paint tray, that dry ceiling paint is going to sort of pull off in little flakes, and you're going to end up with little flakes of ceiling paint in your new sort of wet paint that you want to be rolling again. So in order to avoid this sort of stuff, make sure that the first whenever you first use a brand new paint tray, plastic paint tray, or even paint pots, make sure that the first kind of paint you use in it, you pour into it, is not ceiling paint, right? So use some sort of you most of the time you're going to need some sort of an undercoat or primer or something. So just use that. And wall paints generally they go all right because they have much better cohesion, especially like low sheen. And any kind of glossy paint is fine. And the undercoats are good, even if they don't have a very good cohesion, but they have better adhesion, right? So they will be more likely to stick to the plastic and not sort of start pulling off, So it's just a piece of advice, and hope this is useful. Have a good day. Bye.